Before I start using automation, I should start with the faders at 0 position in terms of their physical position, not 0 decibels. I'm talking about 0 position in terms of the fader's vertical position. If you hold Option, click, hold the Option key down, click, that will put it to a 0 state. This should be the starting point, including the master fader. Ideally, what you should achieve is a balance between all your different instruments. In an ideal world, the master fader will be at 0, and you should have achieved close to 0 decibels full scale, taking full advantage of the entire dynamic range. Meaning the master level should go very close to 0, but not exceeding it. So what is bad practice is to adjust the overall level in extreme amounts on the master fader, either up or down. If your different instruments collectively were at a level where you had to reduce the master fader dramatically to prevent the output from overloading, this is not good practice. There are many reasons for that. I had mentioned in class that if the combined levels of all these channels that lead into the master fader are too strong, when you start to use plugins, they are not going to perform as they're designed. So starting point, all faders at 0. You then decide what is the most important instrument. In this case, it's voice and saxophone. So then I will build the other instruments around the voice and the saxophone, because voice and saxophone are the most two important instruments in this ensemble. They are the lead instruments. So I will position the vocal fader where I feel the clarity of the voice against piano make a nice combination in terms of level, where I can hear the voice, the piano is not overpowering, and then I'll bring the saxophone in. And compare the level of the saxophone to the voice. This is a starting point before I get into automation. So what I'm aiming for is a balanced ensemble where my overall output level is going close to 0 at the loudest, most dynamic part within the song itself. So I would normally go to the loudest point within the track and observe the output level. If it's too low, I'm not going to dramatically increase the master fader. I am going to rebalance all of the channels. Here I'm going to create a new group which will be all of the instrument tracks and the auxiliary channels that I've used for that instrument. Let's select all those. But not using the reverberation auxiliaries and not the master. So I'll make that one group. And I can take out individual channels if I want, because I'm sending these piano individual tracks to their own auxiliaries, so it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to put them in a group, so I will remove that. And also piano 1 is an auxiliary, piano 2 is an auxiliary. So going from piano 1, piano 2 channels, these 4 here are being directed into their own auxiliary. They're 2 different parts that were recorded separately. And then out of these 2 auxiliaries, they are going into this auxiliary. It's like a master piano auxiliary, if you like. So what I will do is just select this one and take out these two auxiliaries, because these two are going into this auxiliary, so it doesn't make sense to put that in there. So okay, so if I want to readjust all of the instruments together, I've created this new group, and now I can just reduce the fader level like that.
The nearness of you.
So then I can ensure that the master output is as close to 0 as possible without going into distortion at the loudest moment in the track.